In the Snickers commercial, pathos is being used. The definition for pathos can be found on page 17 in the textbook. Pathos is emotional appeals. The Snickers commercial uses this when showing different people in different situations having dramatic reactions when they are hungry. The commercials also use artistic proof, which can be found on page 17 in the textbook also, which is the use of choice of evidence, the organization of persuasion, style of delivery, and language choices. One of the clips from the Snickers commercial shows Betty White trying to play football. It is not actually Betty White. It is a football player that cannot focus during practice due to being so hungry. So his teammates tell him he's playing like Betty White and then proceed to give him a Snickers, and then he is better and ready to play. This goes with choice of evidence. They choose to say he is playing like Betty White, implying that Betty White is old and not as in shape as the rest of these boys. All Snickers commercials use style of delivery in the sense that they all choose to have a character depicted as someone who is not themselves because they are hungry. Sometimes they are famous individuals such as Betty White or Robin Williams when he was playing the football coach to display these different personalities of the hungry people. The language choice is a major key in persuading audiences, period. Small children might watch Snickers commercials and laugh simply because the adults in the room laugh. However, they don't really know what is being said or in what context. Adults, on the other hand, see the humor in the situation and relate it to themselves and how they feel when they are hungry. Because when most adults are hungry, they act differently than they are, and this goes with language choice because they're using examples and situations that we as adults understand versus language that children would understand and relate to when they're hungry, because they might not understand that when they get hungry, they act differently. The overall goal of the Snickers commercials are to have the viewer and audience relate to how they act differently when they are hungry. So different people might be divas when they're hungry. Different people might perform like old people in sporting events because they're tired and not as upbeat and lively as younger people because they're full and ready and energized. And some people, like one commercial where two boys were trying to talk to two girls, and the girls obviously weren't giving them the feedback that they wanted because they saw him as an old man, and he got frustrated, so his friend took him and gave him a Snickers and made him eat, and once he ate, he came back as a totally different person. And then one of the other girls was then turned into an old man because it was being implied that she was hungry and needed a Snickers, but we didn't get to see her actually eat a Snickers. The point is, people act different when they are hungry, and Snickers is trying to persuade you to eat one of their products when you're hungry so you will return to your normal self.